Friends, I welcome you all to this online session of Compulsory English BA Part First. In the last few sessions, we were discussing APJ Abdul Kalam's abstract from a book that is To My Countrymen. This is in fact his vision to develop a nation into a superpower. In the last session, we read that he asked us to realize our higher self and view ourselves as citizens of developed nation. So this realization of a self is important. The self motivation to create a great civilization is important according to APJ Abdul Kalam. What we were doing today, we were only thinking about ourselves. We were thinking in the terms of individual. We were thinking in terms of employment. We were thinking in terms of development of the family. We were never trying to think, or we were rejecting to think about nation. We were rejecting to think about a community. We were rejecting to think about the group. And as a result of that, in today's world, where the world is competing regarding use of natural resources, development of different technologies, development of different softwares, you can see we were lacking back. And uh, this failure is not of an individual failure, but this is the failure of a community. uh, what is the reason that APJ Abdul Kalam is putting forward for this failure? It is an integrated efforts that we cannot put to achieve the things. So this is what you can see is the uh, uh, in India, the scene of India, where we cannot put ourselves, we cannot put the integrated efforts to achieve the things, achieve the title of a superpower. Especially when we think about America and or other European nations, or even the nations who were entitled as developed nations, you can see they were thinking about the nation. Especially when we think about the China, the real neighbor or the real competitor. You can see what Chinese people were doing. Chinese were also realizing themselves. They were motivated to create a new modern China. And as a result of that, you can also see that in 1990s or before 1990s, you can see China is only imitating the technology, the software that is produced in developed nations. But today, you can understand that Chinese technology is used all over the world. Even the Europe is purchasing the Chinese technology. This is the change they have bring in their nation, bring in their economy, and this change they have created, this change they have bring with the integrated efforts that they have put in realizing China as a great China. So we people, as in what we were doing, we were rejecting this idea. We were only concentrating on individual level. So this is what APJ Abdul Kalam is asking us to realize ourselves, realize own self, motivate ourselves to build a nation, a great, and we should realize that we are the civilians of great civilization, which is generally known as a civilization of wisdom. So there are a few points I would like to mention here, as APJ Abdul Kalam is further saying. The need of a nation's people are bigger and much more important than any other considerations. Of course, yes. So this is what he is saying. This is what he is putting. And there are several occasions, or there are several events in APJ Abdul Kalam's life where the question is asked and he is asking, he is giving the answers that we should think in terms of integrated efforts. We should think ourselves as a part of Indian civilization, Indian society, and then only it is possible for us to achieve success in every field. So he is also thinking the same. The needs of a nation is bigger than individual. Here, as I am telling you, even in China, you can see what they were doing. They were developing software, they were developing hardware, they were developing infrastructure that is required by a common Chinese man or common Chinese society. And they were building nation on the needs of Chinese people, and afterward they have created a brand and they were selling all over the world. So this is what he is asking us to concentrate on. Nations people are need of nations people are bigger and much more important than any other consideration. So the mission of a parliament is that it has to be alive and dynamic over issues vital to the existence of our very nationhood. This is what is the important thing. I will repeat this sentence. This is very important sentence to understand. The mission of a parliament is that it has to be alive and dynamic over issues vital to the existence of our very nationhood. So what a parliament is doing, the objective of a parliament, the mission of parliament is to think about the vital issues that is important to understand, that is important to define, that is important to safeguard the existence of our very nation. This is what the mission of a parliament. The parliament is nothing to a parliament is not aiming to think about an individual, think about individual state, but he should think about a nationhood. So our freedom did not come as a gift. Of course, yes, you can see there is a long and illustrative history of a freedom fighting, and after huge loss of life and even resources, we get the freedom. So this freedom is not a free gift from anyone. We have achieved it. The people who were fighting in the war, you can say they have also lost their life, their houses, their dear ones, and we have received this freedom. So our freedom did not come as a gift. The whole country struggles for decades to achieve the first vision of independence. So we have to protect it. Of course, as when we see, there is a very beautiful speech by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru at the midnight when India is declared as a free state by Britishers. So his speech is very famous one. It is Trieste and Destiny. So this is what the title of his speech. It is also available on YouTube. It is also available on Wikipedia. If it is possible for you, read it, because you can see it gives you an experience of that particular moment when we have achieved something very big. We have achieved the freedom. We have achieved the identity as a nation. We becomes Indian at that particular moment, and this moment, this point is very crucially, very importantly caught by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of a free India, and he has explored the opportunities, he has explored the challenges in front of the nation. So the speech is very important, very crucial, and I feel that every Indian should read it at least once. So read it. It is available on YouTube. It is available on Wikipedia. It is available on many other internet sources. There were excellent leaders in all walks of life, science, education, and industry. To preserve this freedom from intruders and others who would compromise it is our bounden duty and not a matter of a choice and convenience. So this is also very important. So the uh, freedom that we received after a great fight, we should preserve it, we should extend it to the future generations, and this is our duty. And this duty is not a choice and convenience. So we have to do that, we have to bear, we have to shoulder that responsibility. So this is what he is asking us, and without preserving. So you can see that this sentence is also very crucial one. If we only become a purchaser of the world, if we only create our image as a big market of the world, you can see we will automatically become a what we see, a colonized people. This is capitalism is also called as neo colonization. What is neo colonization? That we were selling our freedom for certain goods. So this is what you can see we were doing at this moment. After 1991, when we received or when we accepted the globalization, you can see what we have projected. We have projected that we were not the producer, we were the purchaser. India is a big market. So this is what the image we have transmitted to the Europe, we have transmitted to the America, and at the same time, the ultra modern fast technology has also told a brain drain in India. The most of the people, intellectuals who were settled in Europe, and they were using their brain for the development of Europe and all other nations. So this is what you can see. If we continued this trend, if we reject to produce something, if we reject to affiliate ourselves with the innovation, affiliate ourselves with the science, affiliate ourselves with the technology that will change the life of Indians and life of the world, we will remain a uh, slave of all these multinational companies. Today also you can see we are the slaves of multinational companies. We banned Chinese products recently in last 2 years. You can see we have banned Chinese product, Chinese apps, but there are several sectors, there are several commodities that in which China is dictating us. China is in fact created a monopoly in our uh, nation, and this is what is happened with us. We were already become a slave of such a multinational company. So this is our duty to extend this freedom, and this is not a choice and convenience, but this is a must shoulder responsibility duty. So no ideology is about the security and prosperity of our country. No agenda is more important than harmony among the people. Students should get ready to transform India into developed nation. So this is the appeal of APJ Abdul Kalam to us. What we were doing, we were not thinking about all these things. We were even not reading this text that is prescribed to us. We were only thinking in terms of WhatsApp, Facebook, and all other social media networks. We were thinking, we were watching YouTube, we were watching movies, and we were never think in terms of national development, in terms of transforming India into a developed nation. So we always think that this is not a tea of my cup, this is somebody else will do that, and every Indian is doing the same thing. Someone else will do that. In Marathi also you can see शिवाजी जन्माव तर शेजाऱ्याच्या कडे आपल्या घरी नको, कारण की you can see becoming the Shivaji Maharaj is in fact a great deal. We have to uh, do many things, we have to accept many things. So this is what we were rejecting the social responsibility that has taken by Shivaji Maharaj. So we were not taking the responsibility as Shivaji Maharaj taken the responsibility. So this is what is happening with us. We were rejecting the social responsibility. So this is so he is appealing to us. Students should get ready to transform India into developed nation. Uh, ignite your mind and think big. So this is what think out of your routine. So he is asking you to think big. A teacher once said, "Give me a 5-year-old child. After 7 years, no God or devil will be able to change the child. Will all teachers be such gurus?" So this is also a challenge to a teacher, that this 5 years old child, uh, they should. And at the same time, you should see that today you were not having gurus, you were having teachers, and this teacher and student, guru and shishya, relationship is a informal relationship. You can see Shishya respects Guru in every wake of life. And teacher and student, both are the English words. You can see they were not exact translations of a Guru and Shishya. Teacher and student is in fact a professional relationship between two individuals. And the student only respect his teacher on the campus. As soon as he she left the campus, you can see they were not thinking in terms of teacher as a guru. Teacher as only teacher who is teaching in the classroom. His duty is only teaching in the classroom what is prescribed in the textbook. So this is what the change we have to take, we have to understood, we have to bring in our society. The administrators have great opportunity to link the people and political leaders. So this is also very important thing. The administrators have a great approach to link the people and political leaders. So there is no link between political leaders and people. We were electing political leaders, but these political leaders were not the representatives of individual or representatives of the society. You can see we have lost this link between political leader and the society, and these administrators should connect, should link, should bridge this gap between people and political leader. Political leaders should be uh, a representative of the society. They should always take decisions that are good for the people. So this is the important thing. I believe it is only executives like empowered district collectors who can assist transformation. The state central integrated fund has to be deployed in mission mode programs. So this is what you can see. The administrators can bridge the gap between people and leader. He has given the example of a district collectors who can assist this transformation. The state central integrated fund has to be deployed in a mission mode programs. So this is what he is asking. His vision is a very broad one. He is thinking minutely. He is thinking on the zero level, on the zero ground. 50 years after independence, the result of scientific efforts have not reached the people to the extent required. It is the time the advances in science and technology are deployed in a big way to transform rural life. So he is asking us to concentrate on a rural life. The science and technology that we were using today in urban areas, we should extend it to the rural area. And he is also saying that when the rural area of uh, the nation empowered with all this technology and all this uh, knowledge, you can see automatically India becomes empowered. So global competition is on, uh, be it WTO, that is World Trade Organization, competition for multinational or China. So this is what he is also aware of all these things, and in fact he is asking us to be aware of that. What we were doing, we were purchasing Chinese good everywhere. We were using Chinese mobile, we were using Chinese apps, we were using even the nips that we were using in our kitchens were the Chinese. And at the same time we were rejecting, or we were declaring that China is number one enemy of the nation. So this is what the policy we were accepted, and that is this policy will make us a slave. It will kill our freedom. So for industrialists, competing with high performance and cost effective products will result in growth for the society industry. There is a very good example that how a people lose their freedom. See in Pakistan, Chinese. There is one incident last few days ago that what this Pakistani peoples were uh, forming a movement against the Chinese products or Chinese infrastructural projects in Pakistan. They think that China will uh, afterwards become the settlers, or they will become the as a Britishers, they will hand over the Pakistan. So what they do, this movement, the people, they made a blast in a uh, bus which is occupied by or which is of a Chinese workers. After that, within a 2 to 3 days, what China did, China give the AK-47 or the time machine gun to every workers. So if they find or if they feel that Pakistani people were intruding in their work, they can kill them. So this is what you can see. The similar thing happened in India, sorry, in British India or in the British Raj. Same thing happening now in India. Only the colonizer is different. Colonizer is a China, and colonized is the same people, Pakistani people. So this is what we should understand that, and we should go for the indigenous technologies. We should use indigenous technologies. So industries by working together can generate multinational institutions, reversing the present trend. So this is what he is asking. He is giving the solution to us. So he is putting together different industries and want to create a multinational institutions. So the IT community, by its innovativeness, has given India a stature in the world. Of course, as you can see, most of the people who were working in a Bangalore IT hub were the leaders of the world, leaders of the softwares used by the global community. India is a competitive nation in IT today. It must be used for healthcare, telemedicine, to remove illiteracy, generate skills, and for e-governance and tele-education. Transform the nation into knowledge society with IT as the linking tool. So he is asking us to use this IT information technology as a linking tool to transform the nation. So this is the final paragraphs. Finally, the farmers have given this country surplus food with their sweet. Time has come for two events to take place in agricultural sectors. What are they? One, the value addition of all agricultural products. The second is to improve the quality of agricultural products and compete in the world market. So he is thinking at the same time, he is thinking about the IT sector, he is also thinking about the agricultural sector. And both these sectors are very important. If we want to be a developed nation, we should concentrate on these two uh, sectors. Above all, marketing itself is a great business tool. We have to create a new cadre for this purpose. These steps will bring relief to the farmers. So he is also thinking about the farmers. And to God, the Almighty, make my people sweet. Let their toil create many more. Against that can be annihilate evil. Let my country prosper in peace. Let my people live in harmony. Let me go to dust as a proud citizen of India to rise again and rejoice in this in its glory. So this is what you can see, the final prayer by APJ Abdul Kalam to the Almighty. So this is what the end of this abstract. We have read it line by line and try to understand the vision of APJ Abdul Kalam. I also appeal you that instead of reading this text only for the sake of examination, you should read it as to self motivate, to get the self motivation. So we will stop here, and in the next session we will begin the next module. Thank you for listening.